Arkansas's breaking news leader. Fox 16 News at 9 starts now.
Battle a massive fire at this hour after people hear explosions. It all went down at the Goldman recycling facility. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Fox 16 News. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. This fire started around 5 o'clock today, and the flames, as you saw there, were so intense that it took most of the city's fire department to work on it. In fact, the fire is still burning and will probably burn throughout the night.
The fire happened at the Goldman recycling facility, which is actually located on East 14th Street. Many Arkansans saying they could see the huge black plume from miles away.
In fact, we witnessed it from a window in our newsroom today and had plenty of callers wondering what was going on. Fire crews tonight are still at the scene.
We have team coverage for you tonight on this breaking news story. Our Katrin Asaf and Jessica Rank are both at the scene.
But we do want to start with Katrin, who got to the scene close to when this fire started. Now, Katrin, when you got there, those flames were billowing. Is it a little more tame tonight, and how much longer will it burn?
Well, Donna, Kevin, it is absolutely much smaller than it was when we first arrived on scene. You can see behind me, and I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better view. You can still see a lot of that smoke happening as it comes from this recycling plant that was fully engulfed, but mostly it's just those hot spots that they're continuing to put out. You can see that fire crew there on the ladder that is getting down and just trying to blanket the rest of the flames. When we first arrived, though, I mean, flames had covered this entire area, that entire building, and really it was all that you could see. So it has definitely calmed down since when we first arrived at 5, but they are expecting those hot spots to last at least through the night. We expect crews to be here for quite some time. In fact, they set up almost a sort of base camp of sorts as they try to make sure that none of these hot spots reignite and turn into another massive structure fire like what we saw earlier today. Now, the good news here is there are no injuries to report. We still don't know the cause of the fire, but we were told that people from both the Goldman recycling plant and the Golden Eagle Budweiser factory next door evacuated the minute they saw those flames, so nobody was injured or even in the buildings when those flames began to cover the entire structure. In terms of the Goldman recycling plant, though, it is a total loss. That building collapsed in on itself and then was engulfed in flames, but we're told by the fire department, the Little Rock Fire Department, that it was just contained to that property and didn't spread to any nearby buildings. We're going to try and work on the cause of this fire and come to you later in the broadcast with the latest updates. Reporting on Rayburn Street and 14th, I'm Katrin Asaf. Back to you.
All right, Katrin, thank you. And we continue our team coverage tonight with Jessica Rank.
Jessica, as you know, we mentioned earlier in our newscast, and you saw it firsthand too, the smoke could be seen for miles. A lot of people wondering what in the world was going on there. Obviously, some of them wanted to get a closer look. So what were people telling you this evening when you arrived on the scene?
Yeah, Kevin, and we're still seeing quite a bit of that smoke right now. As you can see behind me, it's kind of filling up the sky, but right now most of it looks like it's more white, so it looks almost like fire crews are getting this contained. Now, there were a lot of people out here just about 30 minutes ago. It looks like everyone has gone home since, but people were stopping by just curious about what was going on. Here's what they had to say. As the sun set, the sky in this Little Rock neighborhood continued to burn. One by one, people pulled over to watch.
Everybody was pretty much just amazed at this outrageous fire.
This woman and her son stopped on their way home from work at around 5 p.m.
I thought a plane had crashed. Honestly, because it was looking kind of crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh.
She saw the whole sky fill with the black smoke, and as the fire continued to burn, the two said they couldn't keep their eyes off the flames.
It was really, really out of control.
All evening, people were pulling over to grab a photo.
I was getting a lot of phone calls, and they was just calling my phone like, hey Jasper, hey man, do you see the smoke from where you're at?
This man even drove from his house to get a better look. More filled these train tracks watching as firefighters worked. They say all they can do now is wait and hope everything will be okay.
I just pray for the owners of this property.
They have been working hard and they haven't given up, so I'm proud of them.
And those fire crews still working hard tonight. You can see again behind me, this fire continues to smolder, and it looks like crews are going to be out here for at least the next couple of hours. That's the very latest. We'll go on and send it back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. Here's what we know about the building. Goldman Recycling has actually been in business since 1921 in Little Rock. It's listed as having as many as 25 employees and has won a number of awards, including Business of the Year. Now, looking at the bigger picture, listen to this. Fires at waste and recycling facilities in the U.S. and Canada have been a major problem for the industry, according to the 4th annual Reported Waste and Recycling Facility Fires Report. Now, that report, which compiles various fire-related data, shows there were roughly 317 fires at recycling plants in 2020. And of those, 158 occurred in facilities that process waste, paper, and plastic, which, by the way, is what Goldman Recycling does.
Very interesting. Well, we've gotten video from many of our viewers of the fire that began today. And to see those videos, you can just head on over to our website, fox16.com. We will have another live update from the scene. It'll be coming up around 9:30 tonight, so stay tuned for that.
From the Arkansas Storm Team, weather to plan your day with meteorologist Hayden Nix.
And we're here with meteorologist Hayden Nix, and as we were covering this fire earlier this evening, we could actually see this smoke billowing from the radar.
Yeah, that's right. So our radar site's actually located at the North Little Rock Airport, so just a few miles north of the river. And because of that close proximity to the fire, we actually were watching it in real time as the smoke continued to thicken up and build in the sky there. That like greenish string of green that you see returning on radar there is actually the smoke, and it's coming from East 14th Street and actually spanned, when it was at its most intense, almost 15 miles down Arkansas 365. You can see as that continues to loop through, that's from 4:50 to 7 p.m. It was starting to lessen at its intensity in the air, but we know that that fire is still smoldering. So that's some of the impressiveness of that fire there in eastern Little Rock. Now, one